Everything will be shriven and they will have succeeded in some way.
I just wondered if you were inspired by some of the interesting things that the indie community, game community, are doing with the idea of death in games. You know, permadeath has come back onto the games landscape recently with things like, with games like Spelunky. Lots of games are thinking about death in games in a different way. I wonder if you were inspired by that or interested in it.
No, we thought about death a different way 10 years ago with Lego games, where we said when you shouldn't die all the time, maybe we could come back to that. So it's definitely it's a question you should always be asking. What do you do about death? It's very practical when you've got and imagine a queue of people wanting to play a game. You want to make sure you are cycling through them. So for Crisis Panic Team, it was quite a straightforward starting point. We want to get people in, get them to play for between 2 and 4 minutes, and then move them on again. So that's how it comes to be weighted. As an installation, it's a thing that exists here for a day.
It cuts to drama and what people understand what drama is. And if you can tell people a story that they might die if they choose poorly, then that creates real tension and makes it feel very important, and that creates drama. Playwrights know this, screenwriters know this, and it's the same in games. But for me personally, I'm a little bit tired of the reliance, as I see it, on death and the importance of retrying and being sent back and being told a story that you have died. So I'm interested in games that work in a different way, with different ways to create interesting stories.
Yeah, but when are you going to do another Perfect Dark?
It's this afternoon. You're not doing it this afternoon. Come on. Knock it out. Knock it out with stick figure.
Just make one. Just make one.
It's not even possible to take the code and tweak it, just like change the colour of the floor slightly and then rebuild the game.
Can you put
It's
my
a
face
historical. It's a historical artifact. The code base. I don't even know where it is, and it would just be a massive project.
It's out in the world now.
Can you not remember it? I mean, it's just ones and zeros.
It is, and that's true of everything.
So it's possible, just lazy.
Basically, insufficient intellect. out of me.
So if you're fed up of drama in games being dictated by the possibility of death, does that mean you agree with David Cage when he famously, I'm sure he said this, does that mean you agree with David Cage's question? Yeah,
quick, Keith, fit it in.
David Cage
opens up underneath you.
David Cage said that he thought that the words "game over" appearing on screen is a failure of design.
It's not a failure of design. I mean,
so you don't agree with David Cage?
I mean, sometimes it's necessary to be hyperbolic to make your points, but I don't agree that it's a failure of design, because what I see is a world where people are free to make a very wide range of kinds of game, and if you want to make a game that tells people that it's game over, fine, you make that, and you can very likely make an excellent game.
But the irony to game over is it doesn't mean game over, it means play again.
Yeah,
it means the game is about to restart. A game where you could only ever play it once would be something entirely different. The game was over, and in fact no one could ever play it after that. We could do that with Crisis Panic Team. Actually, at the end of the day, the game will be over, and that'll be it.
There wasn't a game that ended itself after a certain amount of time, I think.
Yeah.
If too many people made a mistake in it, then it actually wiped itself and never existed ever again.
And of course you're discovering that with more and more online games as well. The servers get switched off, the game really is over.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, you can't play Glitch anymore. That's a game that's, and all these online games, they take down the server and maybe they make the code open source or whatever, but it's pretty impractical to run a bunch of servers for no money. So, yeah, the fact is the game has disappeared into the past and it can never be experienced again.
Like Perfect Dark.
Like that.
Who was it that made the game? There was this indie developer in the States who made a game that if you got killed, it randomly deleted files from your computer.
Oh yeah.
Zach Gage.
Yeah, that was
it called Lose?
That's it. I think that's good. That teaches you about the price of loss.
I haven't actually played it.
Games that make you cry.
The thing is, with 1 million files on your computer, most of those files aren't actually necessary. I reckon.
You're such a Zen master.
Yeah.
Thanks,
God.
Hollis.
So, where can we next catch your games, your
Well,
big
Crisis
screen
Panic
games.
Team is going to be in the Market Square, hopefully tomorrow, depending on weather permitting.
Okay.
Tomorrow you'll be able to dine
One thing
in
a
the Market
game
Square.
design doesn't usually have to say.
That's right, isn't it great? That's right.
So any time tomorrow.
Yeah.
And Martin, when can we next play Aim for Love?
Yeah, we were rained off on Sunday by quite a malevolently timed tropical monsoon at 5:30. So, you know, our plan is 5:30 every day this week.
Okay.
But we might move it earlier a half hour because we're finding the daylight advantageous.
Don't we have some pictures actually?
Oh yeah, we do have some pictures.
We have pictures of your games.
Yeah, which we should have probably warned the tech crew about that we were going to suddenly bring it up. But I think we've got time to quickly see some pictures of your games in. No one's saying anything.
Oh,
here we go.
So we've got this is yours, Jonathan.
These were kids from the Kids Hack Day, some of which are in the audience today. It's good to see you all again, guys. Yeah, so they made an amazing game controller out of conductive aluminium foil, their own bodies, and cardboard and wire. They piloted spaceships in the Market Square on giant screens and had a wonderful time walking through the centre of Nottingham with tinfoil on their heads.
Are you starting some kind of paranoid cult of children who
Restarting.
The plan is in phase 2.
Martin, I think we might have a couple of pictures of the control room of Aim for Love as well.
Earlier I looked at the pictures and it looked like everyone was sort of feeling slightly rained on.
Yeah, lots of damn people trying to create romance for other people.
That's
Here
what
we
happened.
go, here we are. What's going on here,
Just in a
Martin?
tent.
What's going on here is 2 people are playing the game on 2 machines and they are controlling 1 camera each to pick 1 person each from the Market Square. I mean, the main thing I noticed was everybody was smiling a heck of a lot. There was a lot of people having a
That makes people happy.
So,
That was fun.
yeah, it was fun.
Controlling security
Do you think the atmosphere though, you're saying that daylight helps with the game though, do you think the atmosphere is going to be different on Friday evening when people have possibly had a drink or 2 in the afternoon?
I like how you just waded in there fearlessly.
Yeah.
Is your game good for drunks?
You might think on your high pedestal that there are no drunk people in a Market Square on a Sunday at 5:30. Let me tell you, there are 1 or 2 people who have had a couple on a Sunday, so I've already had experience of
So you're all ready for Friday evening in Nottingham.
We're not going to run it at 7 p.m, but we're going to try a couple of times on a couple of days and experiment. But mainly it's 5:30.
Great. Okay.
Watch my Twitter for anything.
At Martin Hollis on Twitter. Okay then. Well, I think we're going to move on now. We're going to say goodbye to Martin and Jonathan, and then we're going to welcome Mark McKeague and Yuri Suzuki from Dentaku, who are going to be showing us some fascinating things that they have made. But before that, we're going to sort of run some BT of some footage from GameCity. So I would like to say, sorry, you say it, because I'm taking over.
Thanks very much, Jonathan and Martin.
Thank you.
Thank you for having us.